Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks. I did a video on this yesterday with the person that wanted it did not necessarily want the color change. But somebody asked, well, how would you do that? And I did it. It's pretty cool, pretty easy. So if you didn't watch part one, you're going to be a little bit lost. But we're going to, let's see what our nudge factor is set on. This is in the center of the page. We're going to bring in indexing lines. No, this one's in the center of the page. I was wrong. And then to make sure that's in the center of the page. So that's our original. What we're going to do is let's get rid of this line. And if we worked out, you would nudge it out of the way to make sure you have it all. I'm going to go ahead and keep that. So I'm going to nudge it back. And I'm going to left click, right click. And now I'm going to add, because we're working the center of the line, I'm going to try to kind of mimic this, because we need to do this before we extrude it. I'm going to take a 2-point line, and I am going to hold down the control button and then hit P. That red is pretty big, so I'm going to rotate it about to there. I'm going to control D and rotate it for the yellow. I'm not trying to match it perfectly, but the yellow, and then maybe the G, maybe rotate a little bit more so we get more for the G. And then the blue will be up here. So then what you do is you take your virtual segment delete key and delete those lines. Now we're going to nudge again, and I'm going to use the same color. And I don't have to nudge, but I'm going to keep the other part. So I'm going to keep this part, and I'm going to nudge it out of the way. Now I'm going to nudge this back. And if you look, now I have left click, right click, I have those dividing points. I'm going to group them together, and I'm going to go to the extrusion tool, and I'm going to extrude it just a little bit. We don't want too much. You can slide that back, and you can actually slide it after we rotate it. And I'm going to, there's numbers up here you can play with. I'm going to call that good. Now I'm going to bring the extrusion part as small as I can get it. And I'm going to say, okay. Now I'm going to select it all, and I'm going to go to Object and break the extrude part apart. But now I'm going to take my original and see what I did. I've got it kind of at an angle, and it doesn't really look like that, but we could spin it a little bit. And there are several ways you can make that look more like that. Now we can delete this. We're going to go ahead and hit P and put that in the center of the page, which really doesn't matter. And now what we can do is Control D to make it, tell you what, let's change our nudge factor to 0.25. Let's take our new copy and go down. That's all you have to do. You know what, I'm going to try going over a little bit and see what, nah, it's too far. So let's just go down. This doesn't match up again, but we're not worried about that. And then you just need to delete some lines that you can't see again. And we shouldn't be able to see that one. We shouldn't be able to see that bottom one. We shouldn't be able to see that inside curve. There's a little bitty line like right here we shouldn't be able to see. That's from the other one. We shouldn't be able to see that. We should be able to see that. We shouldn't be able to see this inside. Now I'm going to leave that for just a second, because that's going to be an important part. And I'm getting the lower one. I'm getting the inside one. Now, I think we got it all. We need to take a 2-point line. And you know what? We'll just see if this works. Let's get the 2-point line and just go straight down here. See if we can't just delete that little line. Good, worked. Now take the 2-point line on their other parts, and that's going to give us our look. And then we can go back and delete that one line we should not be able to see. Take that, and we should not be able to see that line because it's on the inside. Really, we shouldn't be able to see that, but maybe we should. So we're going to take we need to do one more 2-point line. Zoom in here on this. Take a 2-point line and go down to there. And then we can get rid of that line. Now, I believe in nudging a lot. So we're going to set our nudge factor back on 6. And I am going to take the Smart Fill tool, and I'm actually going to show you how to match up these colors. They're going to be somewhat a little bit off. So we're going to get the Smart Fill tool and get the eyedropper and hit red. I'm going to fill that in and also fill that in. Then I'm going to get the eyedropper tool, get a yellow, fill in both of our yellows. I'm going to get the eyedropper tool on green, fill in both our greens. Then I'm going to get the blue and fill in all 3 blues, or really all 4 blues. We got to get that little bitty spot right there. If you go to the Smart Fill tool, it'll be on that same color. And somehow I missed that. Whoop, I missed that part right here. I must have a line, so I'm going to delete that color. Yep, shouldn't be able to see that line. We'll go back to that green. Smart Fill tool. We could actually go right over to that green and then pop it in there. Now, let's move this out of the way. Our nudge factor is still set on 6. So we're going to take the red that with the pick tool that is going to be kind of like a shadow, and we're going to do them all. And all these pieces. And actually that little bitty piece right there. And there's a number of ways you could do this. You could spend a lot of time on shadowing, making a shadow or deeper. Let's just hold down the control button and hit the black twice. We could select all these blue and select black. Let's just do black once on that one. Take the green, hold down the control button. Let's go 2 blacks on that one. 1 black on the yellow. Now we can nudge all this back, select it all, and right click, no outline. And there you have it. Pretty cool, pretty simple. I don't know if it's exactly, I've got it, this is actually laying down more, and that could be, we could have done that. Mine's just a little bit different. Anyway, I hope that answered their question, and thank you for watching.